Hi everyone and welcome again to Creative Cakes by Sharon. Today I am creating my cake topper of Zayn from One Direction. Guys, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can see how to create Harry, Louis, Liam and Niall as well as many other creative cakes. So let's get started. I have here my template of Zayn and you can get a copy of this in the description box below. I've got my fondant roller, I've got about 250 grams of gum paste, a pair of scissors, my X-Acto blade, I've got a black edible marker and I've got two lengths of wires and they're about 8 inches each, as well as a sheet of wax paper. So the first thing I need to do is roll out my gum paste, and I'm going to roll it out fairly thick to about 5 millimeters because I want my wires to be well hidden once I've inserted them in, and I'm just going to roll it out just large enough to fit my template on. Now using my X-Acto blade, I'm going to carefully cut all the way around the template. The bottom cut needs to be nice and straight as this is going to be the edge that's either going to stand in front of my cake or on top of my cake. And I'm just going to take my time in making sure I go around all of the edges carefully so I get as many details as possible. Now I'm going to carefully transfer my gum paste onto my sheet of wax paper, and then I'm going to carefully take a few moments to smooth out all of the edges of the gum paste, making sure there are no ripples or drags from when I've cut the gum paste with my X-Acto blade, making sure it's as neat as possible. Taking my two lengths of wire now, I'm going to carefully insert them from the bottom of the gum paste up about 3/4 of the way into the head. I'm just going to rest my other hand on top of the gum paste just to feel the wire going through and as a guide, just so that it doesn't come all the way through the gum paste. You can see that there are a few fingerprint marks and a bit of the wire marks left now, and this can be easily taken away with a little bit of a light smooth over the top with my fondant roller. Now I need to keep my topper aside for at least 24 hours to become nice and dry and hard. Now that the gum paste is nice and hard, I can add some of the details. And the first thing I'm going to do is start cutting out my template. And I'm going to start by cutting out the white section of Zayn's t-shirt. So I'm just going to cut carefully all the way around the edge of the white area and carefully place the template back on top of the gum paste, and using the black edible marker I'm going to outline the area that I've just removed. So if you've seen any of the other tutorials I've done on the other guys, you'll know that the technique is to cut out sections of the template at a time. So now I'm going to cut out a large black section of the template, and it's going to take me all the way around his face. Then I'm going to use the white section of the template and carefully line it up with the gum paste and start to outline the area that I've just removed. When I come across to his ear, I'm just going to add a little bit of the detail by just referring back to the other section of the template and just putting in a few marks and lines and a few dots to create his ear. And then I'm going to finish the outline under his chin. Next I'm going to cut out the black sections for his eyes, so I'm going to make a small cut from the side of the face into the template and slowly moving around the black area of his eyes. It can be a little bit tricky sometimes to get into all the details, but just take your time and slowly cut around the edge. And then I'm going to carefully place it back onto the gum paste and making sure that I hold all of the sections of the template in place with my fingers while I then outline the area which I've just cut out with my black edible marker. Now I'm going to follow the exact same procedure for the crease in his chin, his lips and the shadow of his nose. So just cutting those out, placing the template onto the gum paste and filling in that black area with the black edible marker. And then finally I'm just going to add the little bit of a detail under his right eye. And now I can start to fill in all the shaded areas like his t-shirt, his eyes and of course his hair. When I'm doing his hair, I'm just going to leave a few white areas just so I can create some highlights, but you could shade in all of his hair if you preferred. And there you have it guys, an absolutely unmistakable cake topper of Zayn. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to give it a like and share it with your friends. I love to get your feedback, so leave me a comment in the section below. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more creative cake tutorials, and as always, thanks for watching.